Hello and welcome to my channel, Silver Lining, where we look at being resilient in the face of storms that comes at us in life. My name is Peter Abraham. I'm a registered nurse, and in the very first episode, I shared about how I was unexpectedly terminated from a hospice nurse position with an agency, whether that was ageism or patient advocacy, or because I'm an unvaccinated registered nurse, time will tell. Second episode going a little bit more over the resiliency. Third episode talking about uh, being able to have a bridge of time due to dividend fund and stock investing. In this fourth episode, I'm talking about moving forward as a registered nurse. So, in the geographic area where I was previously employed by three separate hospice agencies, only was terminated by two out of three. I guess three strikes, you're out. First one because I could not wear a face shield even though I had a medical exemption. And that was still during the first few waves of the alleged pandemic. And the most recent one, the question mark was at ageism, patient advocacy for my lung cancer patient, or because I'm unvaccinated. And a family member directly asked me about turbo cancers, for which a very local, very reputable doctor to the area had an answer. I'm not sure the agency that I worked for appreciated. But anyway, moving forward, my wife and I are working on a relocation project, and we picked the state of Kentucky as our target. And Pennsylvania is one of those states that, while they're promising, is going to be a compact licensing state, they're not. So I back up just a little bit. When you go to become a nurse, whether it's a licensed practical nurse or a registered nurse, both of those are licensed professionals, you have to take a national exam, NCLEX, either the PN for the LPNs or the RN for the registered nurses. This is a national exam. The questions that are asked in Texas, Pennsylvania, Kentucky, or anywhere else of the 50 states, they're the same caliber of questions. Now, each individual may not be asked the exact same question in the exact same order. It is a type of test that progressively gets harder the more correct answers that you get. So, as you're taking the test, it is a very time test, a very stressful test. But as you're answering the questions, if you get questions wrong, they progressively get easier. That isn't necessarily a good thing. But as you get more correct, they progressively get harder and harder and harder, trying to weed out, who could be the safest entry level nurse. And the same type of exam, the same caliber, is in all 50 states. However, for whatever reason, it's not a national license. So either you have a single state license like I have in Pennsylvania, or you have a compact nursing license. And currently there's 41, I believe it's 41 states that are operating out of the compact. Kentucky's one of them. That if you have a compact nursing license, you can practice in any state that accepts a compact nursing license. You have to obey the laws of both the state of origin for your license and the state that you're operating within. So Pennsylvania is a single state license. They are working towards becoming a compact license state. Right now, it's partially implemented, meaning that anybody coming in from a compact state is having their license accepted. But anyone like myself going out, tough beans, at least for now. So there's a process called endorsement when you want to have your license endorsed, accepted by another state. And so this past Monday, now I've been, we'll go too far. I've been working on this project. I'm an overcompulsive planner, so I've been working on this project since around the time of my termination in terms of putting together not only taking the study guide that Kentucky provides. I'll get into why you need a study guide, and building my own through Google Notes LM, and preparing for this process. So it is a process. You just saw was the first page of a multi-page application with the Kentucky Board of Nursing, along with I used Notion.so for planning purposes. So I had charted out, that's where you'll see the Kentucky Unbridled Spirit, where I charted out like what steps are necessary, like the application fee, the application itself, that's multiple pages, um, taking the jurisprudence exam, another fee. That's an exam that shows that I understand how nursing laws work for the scope of practice for a registered nurse in Kentucky. Also, the scope of practice for licensed practical nurses, because as a registered nurse, I could supervise LPNs, CNAs, which are certified staff, as well as other unlicensed personnel. Only LPNs are licensed, CNAs are not licensed or certified, but I can supervise other personnel. And so I have to know how that works. And so Kentucky has a jurisprudence exam. It is a timed exam. The plus side for those who have taken your nursing boards, where I think it's what, a 3.5 hour limit to take the exam. Here it's timed, but you don't have a time limit. And unlike the nursing exam, this is open book, and they do provide a study guide. The study guide's from 2015. One of the reasons I put together my own study guide, which incorporated their study guide, is Kentucky nursing law is based on statutes that are put together not only by the Board of Nursing, but they have to be passed into law by the legislature. And there's new laws that have come forth since 2015. For instance, Kentucky not only has an annual requirement for continuing education credits, their license reduces, I'm sorry, this is unedited, it renews annually. Pennsylvania renews every 2 years, and most states have continuing education requirements. Well, Kentucky not only has these annual requirements, but also has one-time requirements where you have to take pediatric head trauma, the shaken baby syndrome, suicide prevention. I believe the other one is workplace harassment. But they had three, and then just past this year is an Alzheimer's and dementia one-time course. So Pennsylvania, for example, has an annual child abuse course that you need to take. I shouldn't say annual. Every license period, so every 2 years, you have to take that course. For Kentucky, there are now 4 courses that you have to take in your nursing career and be able to provide proof that you went to a certified continuing education provider for those specific courses to the Kentucky Board of Nursing. And you have a 3-year period of time to prove that you've taken those one-time courses. But since there have been many changes since 2015, I ended up creating my own study guide. While this video is not a promotion, and it's not a paid promotion for Google Notebook LM, it's one of those AI tools that you could actually build yourself for free, where you can import different PDF files and websites. And the benefit of this is then you can go in and ask yourself questions, or if you're given questions by an exam, for example, you can put in the question and it'll give you, not going to say here's the answer to the exam, but it'll give you the source documents where you could read for yourself. You still have to work through How's this going to answer the question? Because if you're a registered nurse or an LPN taking this, watching this video, most nursing exams, and this jurisprudence exam was no different, they'll show you in orange. I'm speaking figuratively, and then ask you, then show you a couple colors, which is the most orange that matches this orange. And some of them are like, oh my word, it's that close. I pray it's this one. And this past Monday, just keeping this video rolling, I did the multi-page application. If you are taking this, do be extremely careful. It's not just am I applying for the LPN or RN license, but they had questions. Were you under 500 years? 500 hours, not years, oh my word, 500 hours of experience, or under 5 years. Were you over 5 years, 500 hours of experience? Did you just graduate in the last year? So they had little radio buttons. Which one are you picking? And you had to be sure that you're picking the right one, because the $165 fee is non-refundable. So I went through the multi-page application. Once you have the application, you have an application ID, and now I'm able to take that application ID and pay $15 to take the jurisprudence exam, which I was pleasantly surprised they had several hours of material to read before you actually got to the questions. And the plus side for those several hours of reading, granted it added to the stress, is that this was all up-to-date information from 2015. So not only did I have my study guide that I created and I practiced with Google Notes LM, but now I'm able to read through, and it was broken down into sets. Here's for registered nurses, 30-some pages. Here's for LPNs, 30-some pages. The shortest part was the care portion for nurses in recovery from substance abuse. That was 8 pages. So you go through all of that material. I do recommend, if you're doing this, take your time, even if you're prepared. But that's several hours of flicking through the different pages online. And then finally you get to the exam itself. It was only 35 questions. The plus side is, unlike the nursing boards, they did not progressively get harder, at least from my perception. And there was no select all the apply, which is why I believe they did not progressively get harder. Because if you took the nursing boards, you know that the harder questions are the select all the apply and those priority questions. So this was very good questions. And when I was looking at the questions, a number of these questions was not related to anything that I've studied. So I was like, really pushes your brain, which is good. I thank God I not only passed the exam, you have to get an 80% or greater to pass the exam. But out of the 35 questions, I got 35 correct. It did take me slightly less than 25 minutes to go through the exam portion. That's not the reading material portion. That was several hours. But I passed the exam. Then we have 50 states. 49 of them belong to nurses, NURSYS, in terms of their validation process to report to other boards of nursing about your license. Out of this entire endorsement process, this is the main area that I want to grit my teeth in. Not that I have a lot of teeth, but go, are you kidding me? You as a consumer, anyone watching this video, if you want to look up my nursing license or anyone else, you could do it for free. So can anyone in any state board of nursing. Yet, for those 49 states that work with NURSYS, you could pay them $30 to validate your nursing license. One state doesn't belong to that organization, and that's the state of Pennsylvania, where it's $50 to have your license verified. I am thankful that Pennsylvania did do their part in the same day that I paid the $50 to verify I'm a registered nurse with the Kentucky Board of Nursing. And then you also have to get your fingerprints done for an FBI state, federal, local background check. So even though you do that as part of being able to become a nurse, you go through it all over again for endorsement. Joy. I did that this morning, traveling to an ident go site that is in various states have these services where you could provide proof of that you are who you state you are. They did change the process since I was a registered nurse. In the past, it was you get your fingerprints done, and you still get them done now, but now they're on glass. It's more automated. They also take your picture, smile for the camera, and they told me that within 24 hours, the Kentucky Board of Nursing should have my results. The downside, and this goes for all of you nurses watching this video, I was told that we as nurses, we're so used to washing our hands between patient encounters and when we're touching equipment, good infection control practices, wash our hands, use antiseptic. That kind of makes it difficult to get fingerprints. They prefer our hands to be oily. So here I am before, leaving the house and leaving our puppies and our one dog's laying down where you can't see her, but leaving our puppies. I'm here washing my hands, thinking I got to get the oils off my hands, and then I go, and they're having so much trouble getting the fingerprints doing multiple times, and they said don't be surprised if they asked me to go back. It was $53.25 for them to do the fingerprinting. They said it won't be another charge, and I'm hoping I don't have to do that, but we'll see. But the word resilience means to snap back. So the word resilience means to snap back. So in future episodes, I do want to talk about the different storms that we as an adults face. I mentioned in the first video, my wife and I adopted special needs teenagers. They're now adults. We had a number of storms in that area. In my career in IT, I had a number of storms. And I don't want this to be another extremely long video, but we have a lot of storms in life. And we can make a choice. It's an individual choice. Are we going to circle the drain and feel sorry for ourselves? And you want to validate your own feelings. But are we going to stay there feeling sorry for ourselves? Or are we going to snap back? And I can only speak for me. I'm going to thank God. I'm going to praise Jesus. I'm going to look for the window or the door that he has opened for me. He paves the way. It's my job to try to see where I'm going. The lamp beneath my feet, and walk in that path the best I can. I encourage every one of you watching this video, maybe like me, you were fired for reasons you don't understand, or reasons that this doesn't make any sense and this is wrong. Maybe you have other things going on in your life that are just horrible. Number one, please do leave me a comment. Feel free to like and subscribe. But if you want to comment, say, Peter, please pray for me. You don't have to go into the details. It's not about me prying into your business. If you want me to pray for you, I will pray for you. But pray. Wait if God's telling you to wait, but pay forward. I literally don't know the next step beyond the Kentucky nursing license. I don't know what's next. I'm walking a path that I believe God has prepared for me. When I get that license, I'm going to be looking for jobs, obviously, but I don't know the outcome. I don't know if I'm going to run into, Peter, you're unvaccinated. I am not going to get another vaccine, not any of them anymore, after how I seen how everything has been done. The reading that I've been doing, listening to Dr. Sam Bailey and other doctors speaking out, and seeing with my own eyes what was literally the flu being turned into something that it was not. I will never get another vaccine. And yes, that may mean I may never work in healthcare again. I don't know, but I'm not going to circle the drain, and I'm not going to give up, and I'm going to walk the path the Lord prepared for me. And if it's a closed door, it's a closed door. At least I walked the path. But the God I serve parted the Red Sea, and if he could part the Red Sea, he could open doors. Thank you for watching the video, and have a blessed day.